going to be going over the weekly roundup, news that basically came out throughout the week, and we're going to be talking about just things in general that you guys might be interested in with your questions and various things like that. So what we're going to do now is just kind of hang out casually, play some Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, and let you guys kind of come into the chat here, and then we're going to be answering a lot of your questions. So far, things that have happened, LG is now talking about introducing their soundbars with room calibration, and you've got a lot of people excited over TCL and their brand new push to push mini LEDs. Nobody knows if it's in 2020 that they're going to be coming out with new mini LEDs or not, but I would imagine it almost assume so. Then we've got things happening on the front of new quantum dot developments. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. People are already starting what to expect at CES, speculations and things of that nature. But the reality of the situation is, I mean, all of it's going to be about the same as it was pretty much this year, where it's just like quantum dots and mini LED talk. That's kind of what we're at and where we're at right now. All right, so we've got Enoch. What's going on, man? You said, hey, what's good? And you said, still enjoying the Z9F soundbar? Yeah, still enjoying it. Love it. Still the best soundbar I've ever owned. Bar none. I haven't seen a single soundbar able to do anything more, at least for the money. Now let's try to get this guy here. What's going on, M&M? You said, hey man, thoughts on the 75-inch X950G? It's good for viewing angles and colors. Brightness is pretty decent, but overall it's disappointing because the black levels are not what they buttoned up. Now, I have, and I must put this out there, seen tons, and I mean tons of people saying that they have the Sony X950G and they don't notice all of the blooming and the clouding, to which I will just say, if you're watching movies mostly, and that's all you're really doing, you'll have situations where it will be harder to notice the blooming and the clouding. However, you definitely will notice it if you're a video gamer and you're, again, seeing load screens. I can give you guys some load screenshots if you guys want to see the blooming that I'm talking about in particular. But Spider-Man, that load screen is just the worst. And then you've also got the load screen in Mortal Kombat XL. That just was deal-breaking for me as a person, seeing just how far off it actually was. I cannot hit this guy to save my life. Alright, let's try something else. Without... Can I hit him now? I think I can. Got him. Alright, so let's go over more of the questions that we have here, since I think I'm pretty much gonna win this match anyway, no matter what I do. So let's go here, go to our live stream, and see some of these questions. Now, I'm just waiting for the chat to load up. If you guys have questions in general, don't be afraid to ask or anything like that. I mean, you guys know that's what we're here for during this live stream. What are your guys' thoughts, though, on CES, and how was you guys' Christmas? You guys enjoyed it? You guys had fun? That kind of thing? What did everybody end up doing? Questions, questions, questions. That's where we're at today. And trying to beat Guy Sensei over here. If I can ever just land a hit on his running, dodging ass. There we go. I bombed him. Why? Because why not? And I can't do the same move on him, so... Damn, he's really dodgy. That's the only thing about the high levels. They're really annoying. Okay, enough of this. Got him. Alright, took us life, but we finally ended him. Maybe I'll put on spectator mode and just let the computer go at it for a little bit. Alright, so we've got Julian, what's going on? Thanks for being a VIP member. You said, hey, just saying what's up. Well, I appreciate that. What's going on, man? And we've got what's his name? Julian. I already said that. Felix, what's going on, man? Thanks for being a VIP member as well. You said, hey, Quantum, what are your best settings for the Hisense H9F Gree channel? I appreciate that. The settings that I have that are the best, it really will depend because I've had to make so many just for various lighting situations. So just kind of try them all out and see which ones work. I usually think that my most recent stuff is probably going to be the better one, but it really honestly does depend from person to person and like what everybody's room situation is like, and how your lighting affects that will definitely play a role into what will end up being best for you. So hopefully it's not too much of a roundabout answer, if you will. I'm just trying to, I don't know, answer the question in the best way I know how. Alright, so we're just going to set up a little quick match here with the computer. And for my Naruto fans out there, if you guys want to see a match, the specific match at a specific place, just shout it out in the comments, and we'll make sure we do that. Alright, so we've got some piece of shit that spelled out nigger. Really? Is that the best you've got? Surely you could do better than that. I mean, really, I don't know why these guys come here. You know you're just going to be blocked as either 4K upscaler or one of the other usual clowns. But okay. We'll just take care of it. Hey, and if you guys see these pieces of shit in the comment section, just get rid of them. Because they're just here to start trouble. I mean, he's blocked, so I don't even know how he's able to do that, but that's impressive. So I guess he's just hacking or whatever he has to do. But whatever. I'll say a proper fuck you, Richie Rich. Now moving on with that. What's going on, Hassan? You said, wow, what a fool, Richie. Yep, that's pretty much where I'm at. And you guys can see real time, this is the kind of shit I deal with in my inbox and in all kinds of shit. If you're black and you're a YouTuber, you're going to get called a nigger once or twice if somebody doesn't like you. So it is what it is. You know, it's the internet. People, I mean, I don't know. They think it's an affecting word. It's just annoying. It's like, really? You had to? All right, I guess. Yes, I was born brown, couldn't control it. We done? I mean, whatever. But, moving on from that inconvenience here. We've got, I'm using the X950G for sport, so would bluing be an issue? I don't know if it would be an issue for sports. I mean, I can't really think of a really, really dark sport outside of, like, maybe poker at a casino, you know? If you're watching, you know, competitive poker maybe, but for most things you should be fine with sports. Though it's not really a motion TV per se, so I would kind of be on the wearier side of things when it comes to that. We've got Oscar, thanks for being a member. You said hola, thank you. Said gender, what's going on? You said, hey, could you get a 65-inch... Oh, I'm sorry, you could get a 65-inch Q8FN for $1788. That's a bit on the higher side. Or you can get a 900F for $1350, most likely looking to watch sports. I mean, I think for the price, I mean, I know Canadian prices are always higher than the US, so it's really hard for me to gauge what's a good deal in Canada, because honestly, I think the prices are really high to begin with anyway. But I don't know, that sounds really high. I feel like for that, you could probably do better in 2020, you know what I mean? Though I don't know what full price in Canada looks like, so that's kind of like where I have a little bit of the difficulty with recommending stuff for Canada. Flip and Docs, what's going on? You said living room is set up as my home theater, currently watching a 50-inch Vizio D series. 17 feet away, horrible. You said, would love to get a 75. Main use is football and movies, and so it seems the Q80, X900F, or 950G. I would say go with the Q80R. Out of all those options you've listed, that is definitely the better route to go. We've got Insane Clown Pose. You said, what's the best Vizio 4K TV to buy? I would say the Quantum series is going to be the better series to buy, even though they have the Quantum X. The Quantum just does pretty much the same thing at a lesser price, and I had less blooming on the Quantum regular 2019 series Quantum versus the Quantum X, so that's food for thought there. We've got Elias. You said, hey you folks, Merry Christmas. I returned the Q90R twice, being faulty in 1 month, and had an awful experience. After 14 years, I needed a TV. I had a Pioneer for 14 years. Man, I'm sorry you had that situation go down like that. And then you said, I bought the GZ950 Panasonic 65-inch, and it's awesome. And I definitely do appreciate that. And then we've got Aaron George. You said, sorry somebody did that. Yeah, it's kind of like the nature of the beast here. We've got M&M. You said, is it true that streaming through a streaming player such as NVIDIA Shield looks better than watching things on TV's internal apps? Yes, because when you're using an NVIDIA Shield or a Blu-ray player or some type of streaming device, you're hooking it up through an HDMI, and HDMIs usually add their own correction, and then you're also able to do things like use the enhanced format of that HDMI, giving you wider color and things like that. Whereas if you were to just use the standalone Blu-ray player, you're not able to, or I'm sorry, the standalone app built into the TV, you're not able to appreciate everything that you would hope to achieve. What's going on, Elias? You said, what are your thoughts on the GZ50 Panasonic? Honestly, I don't really have any thoughts on it. I haven't had the chance to see Panasonic because they're on a no US policy here where they just don't give us their products, so I can't say. Insane Clown, you said, what's the best 4K video TV to buy? I guess it's populating some of this stuff twice, so I apologize if I repeat some of the stuff here. What's going on, Tank? Thanks for being a member here of the channel. You said, okay, love the 65-inch Q80R. You said, when I'm on HDR 4K, but for SDR upscaling something is something to be desired. Can I help this at all? I mean, kinda no. I mean, upscaling SDR, depending on what you're watching, especially like cable TV, that can be a little bit of a challenge. Some things that you can do, some tricks that you can use is going and using, what is it? The digital clean view feature. I love using that. That's a good way to get all of this stuff kind of squared away without having to do too much per se. But typically, there's not much you can do past that. Let's see. I wonder who I should pick next. Let's just do something interesting, right? Let's do some of the DLC characters, I guess. I'll just cliche it up and I'll just do Naruto versus Sasuke. And if any of you Naruto fans out there want to see something specific, just shout it out and I'll put it on after this one. And we're going to make them fight, I don't know. Why not? Somewhere scenic, right? Alright, so now we've got a question coming in from Oscar. What's going on? You said, Q, from your experience, please rate the following: Z9F, Q9FN, Q8FN, 950, or H9F. Alright, so to rate these in, I guess, chronological order, if you will, or rather from best to worst, I would have to say it would be the Q8FN and the H9F. Those two are tied with one another. They kind of give what the other one doesn't, so I would say they're pretty equal. Then, from that point onward, I would have to say it would probably be the X950G. I had a much more impressive experience with picture quality than the Q9FN, which would rank below it in my opinion, especially after updates. And then the Z9F comes in dead last. The reason I give the X950G just so much more of a ranking than the Z9F is simply because its upscaling chip is leagues better, and you can get a lot more done as far as picture quality and things like that are concerned. Odish, what's going on? You said, I think I said that. Otish? I have no idea if I'm saying that right, but you said, hey, big fan question. Do you, what did you say? Do you think TV prices will drop, in a week or two before the Super Bowl? Yeah, they usually, around Super Bowl, do go down in price. I honestly don't know when Super Bowl is, but I do know that they drop, not only do they drop in price, but they also do little things where they go, okay, so we're going to make this special variant, and it's usually something like, I don't know, what is it they make? The special Samsung units, those are like dedicated to the Super Bowl, where they're like kind of Samsung, but not really Samsung. It's very weird. I'd be careful with those models. And then you have just various different retailers like Waltz TV. Who's the other one? I can't remember all of them. Video Audio Center and a couple other ones that will do like little sales around that time to try to clear out their inventory and things like that on Amazon. So that's something to look out for. But typically they do go on sale. So yeah, leading up into the Super Bowl, especially the week before, I would definitely check those deals because you'll probably catch a sale. And in general, right now, after CES is also in a watch, I would say like early to mid-March, they're really going to be cranking out some crazy sales just to get rid of inventory and make room for the next wave of stuff. Since we know most TVs don't launch until spring anyway, some even until summer, which is absolutely ridiculous. But we've got a few things to look out for, so hopefully that helped out. We've got, what does this say? I'm trying to read here. Another question from Elias. You were saying, do you think firmware updates slow down performance on TVs? Yes, most certainly. I mean, I've had so many instances where my 900E especially has just been more sluggish after updates, where day one it was like snappy and super quick, and no doubt that's attributed to the fact that, of course, Sony wants to make more money. We've got Tank. You said Blu-ray HDR disc. You said Downloaded 4K RAW on the NVIDIA Shield streaming, trying to decide if you should get a Blu-ray player or an NVIDIA Shield. Honestly, I would get a Blu-ray player. I found, like, for most things, Blu-ray players are just more versatile, especially with streaming. The only exception to that would probably be, like, Sony. Sony stuff is, like, really garbage. Like, I don't know what's going on with their Blu-ray players, but for streaming, it always freezes and glitches out and stuff like that. So if you don't want to run into that kind of stuff, then I would just avoid it altogether. We've got a question coming in from Hassan. You said, or Hussein, what's going on? You said, I'm just going to do a random place here. Give me a second. There we go. You said, hey, Quantum, just wondering what are your best settings currently for the Q8FN, mainly bright room, dark room. You said also maybe you can help with settings for the NU8000. Thanks for the awesome content. So the best settings that I have, I would definitely lean more towards my recent one, particularly because across the board I've been seeing and hearing that QLED owners from the Q80R, Q90, Q8FN, Q9FN, doesn't really matter at this point, anything with full array local dimming, they've been experiencing some black crush issues after these recent updates, particularly 1290, and so my recent update tries to combat that a little bit, and so I think that'll be the way forward. I have been working on natural settings, like natural mode settings, but they're also like a more vibrant version of the picture settings, so that's something I've been working on as well. I've also been working on the A8G vibrant mode for a request for some of you guys out there who wanted to have a usable picture setting for the A8G, so there are a couple more picture settings that I've been working on that I will definitely be rolling out. But as far as the best one, it really honestly does depend. I think that the newest one that I have for the Q8FN right now is probably going to be your best bet though, man. And you say, sorry, also, do you recommend updating my Q8FN? It's on 11 something firmware. Thanks again, man. No, I don't recommend you update it because it typically hasn't led to good results for many people that I've seen. Fresh 1009, what's going on, man? Or really that'd be like 10,009, but what's going on, man? You said, hey Quantum, been a big fan for several years now. You said, quick question regarding the H9F versus the KS8000. I know the KS8000 is older, edgelit, etc. As far as color accuracy and noise, any difference? I mean, the KS8000 is good because it has decent local dimming. I personally have seen less blooming on the KS8000 than on the Hisense H9F for smaller logos, especially if you turn off local dimming on the KS8000 for whatever reason after their recent firmware. I forget what it is now, but you definitely won't have any issues as far as too much blooming versus the H9F, which you're going to see it either way. So smaller logos is definitely a weak point of that TV. Other than that, though, the KS8000 loses by a pretty substantial margin in terms of picture quality to the Hisense H9F. Especially in motion and in the overall color. That's one of the big things that I found is a weak point. What's going on? Oh, and I forgot to mention as well, with noise reduction, the KS8000 is better with noise reduction than the Hisense H9F because it doesn't make you either over sharpen or under sharpen your picture, so food for thought there. Jimmy, what's going on? You said, would you recommend the TCL... You said the TCL, what is it? Hold on. TCL Q625, or sorry, R625, or last year's 6 Series. Short answer to that, neither. And then you said older model is a lot cheaper, it costs those things. Honestly, TCL is not a brand I recommend. They definitely do not have the whole TV making thing down pat. I think they've got a long way to go before they're a recommendable brand for me. I think if you want subpar picture quality, that's the way to go, but honestly for the money, you're better off buying even a Vizio because the motion on TCL is dreadful, like really bad. I think that's really one of the biggest problems they have right now. I think like even with color, it's just not exciting, it's not fantastic, and I think you could do a lot better. What's going on, J. Dean? You said favoring the larger 75 to 85 inch with hands down your best. I'm sorry, you said, what is hands down your best bet for light-controlled, movie-only, under $4,000? And you said happy holidays to you, and thanks for all that you do. When it comes to that size, I typically don't recommend it. I don't think it's a good idea for 4K. I think you should wait till we see what comes out in 2020 for 8K, because the 75 to 85 inch screen is just way too big. You're lowering your pixel density, and it's something I've said for years. But essentially what that means is, anytime you have an image that is only 8 megapixels, which is what 4K resolution works out to be if you multiply 3840 by 2160p, that's pretty much where you're at. You're going to have a problem where you're just overcropping the image. And at that screen size, I know a lot of people like the shock and awe of like how big everything looks, but you're really losing resolution, and a lot of it. I mean, check out like a monitor or something, for example, compared to that, and you'd see what I mean. So typically I don't recommend it for 4K. For 8K, absolutely, you have more pixels, therefore you can expand more, but without that, I just can't see it as a viable option for that kind of money. Because we're talking like under $4,000. That means you're willing to spend at least $2,500, $3,000. That's still a load of cash for something that you're going to be seeing a diminishing return from. It's not going to be as impressive as you would have hoped, and I think that's one of the things to think about here as well. So hopefully that kind of answered it a little bit there. We've got, but I'll give you a recommendation for just if you really needed one. I mean, I'd say if you can, try to find yourself a Q8FN. If you like upscaling and can accept black level problems, maybe the X950G. But really, the options aren't great. 2019 was one of the worst years for TVs in recent memory. What's going on, Sam? You said, or sorry, Satman. What's going on? You said, in US dollars, price for a brand new 65-inch Q8FN is $1,300, and the 900F is going for $1,000. Just following up from your first answer, I mean, either way, if you compare a Q8FN to a 900F, the difference is too disparaging to justify. I mean, the 900F has seriously bad blooming problems, and it's with some things, not everything, right? So is it able to get deep black on occasion? Of course. Some things it knows to kind of hone in that algorithm and darken things up. But when it doesn't do that, and you see the gray black I'm talking of, it's going to be really bad. And also, it lacks the level of color vibrancy that the Q8 has, and the sharpness to the contrast. The contrast is going to be one of the biggest things you're going to notice, because it's not going to be as deep with the depth and as immersive. And that is honestly what killed the 900F for me personally, just seeing everything. It was a sharp TV, it had the X1 Extreme chip, it looked great, but then the grayish blacks diluting the colors and really hurting the image was just not a thing that I wanted to do, and you don't have that on the Q8FN. Now, I've heard that with Samsung on the new firmware, it's pretty bad, so I can't attest to if it's going to come with the new firmware, and that's always a risk that you have to assess as well. Another problem is Samsung in general, they are pretty much the leaders at this point with nerfing and destroying their TVs with updates. So I would really be wary of Samsung in general. Like, I mean, I own the Q8FN. I'm not trying to dock the brand or anything, but I think you might want to reconsider that as well. So the options are really crappy right now, to say the least, right? Like, there's not a whole lot out there. But even still, I wouldn't do the 900F. It's just too much of a inconsistent experience, to say it nicely. Mr. Oscar 5, thanks for being a member here of the channel. You said, is it possible to sideload via the USB flash drive with RAM or SSD to enhance internal processor? No, I don't think that's a possibility that they give you. It's pretty much like whatever the TV comes with is kind of what it is. It's not necessarily like you'll get anything else out of the TV's experience. We've got a message from Fomiko1. You said, my 75-inch Q900R kicks ass, dude. I'm loving this TV to death, and I'm glad you're having a great experience there. Jay Kenzie, what's going on? You said, I knit you, not huge Vizio. I guess you mean I know you're not a huge Vizio fan, but the Quantum P 2019 is on sale for $900, and you said, I think it's a good deal, and you said, and that's all thanks to you, bro. Yeah, I mean, look, not everybody is going to have the same requirements and preferences as well. I know I'm a TV stickler. Like, when there's something that's off, I am not quiet about it at all. I definitely will tell you, hey, listen, maybe don't buy this TV because it doesn't do X, Y, and Z. But with that as the case, I think if you're okay with seeing some uniformity issues, and it's not a big deal because what you're coming from is so vastly outdated. Like, I know some of you guys are coming from like 10-year-old TVs in some cases. Like, at that point, a potato would impress you. And I'm not even trying to be funny here. Like, it doesn't take a whole lot when you're coming from outdated tech. And I think that's the thing to think about as well. If you know you're not going to really care either way because what you have is already gray black, and again, you don't care, then yeah, I mean, go for Vizio, spring for it. It does get deep black. It has excellent black. I actually found like I was saying, the 2019 P-Series Quantum to have more uniform black than the higher end P-Series Quantum X for whatever reason, which I found very strange. So that's something to think about, guys. All right, so we've got a question coming in from Elias. What's going on? You said, yeah, Samsung Q90R Void. I had blue corners, and you said blooming, color banding, and HDR setting is always grayed out. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the Q90R one little bit. I thought it was a really crappy TV. I see a lot of people juicing up that TV, like they will every year. And you guys, how many years have you guys been watching me? For some of you guys, plenty of years. Some of you guys, I mean, back to my very first channel. I mean, you guys know, like, we've been out there talking about this stuff and having these conversations. And guys, you guys have to know, marketing is hand in hand with today's society on YouTube, and you're going to get marketed. They're going to tell you it's great. Every professional and every reviewer will tell you it's great. They've never said otherwise, and they never will. It's the part of the business. And a lot of guys come on the channel and they're like, hey, Quantum, why is it every single reviewer is wrong but you? And it's not that they're wrong. I need you guys to hear, all 44 of you watching right now, it's not that these reviewers are wrong. They're getting paid. They know what they're saying to you. They're getting paid to tell you it's great. That's called influencing. That's what a brand influencer does. They influence you to want to buy a product, and companies pay good money for this opinion because people, sadly, don't know this about YouTube. So naturally, when you guys are out there and you're hearing about the Q90R being this game-changing TV, like next year, it will be the Q90 whatever comes next, or if they even go with that model, right? It's going to be game-changing, and it will stop your whole world. That's the tagline. They will always say this for every OLED, every QLED, every Sony. That's just how business works. If you want to be safe from that, you come onto this channel after I bought these TVs, and I'm gonna I'm gonna tear it apart. I don't even care. If it earned it, it earned it. Now, if it's good, it's good. I don't care if it's a Hisense, the TCL, whatever it is. We're gonna be unbiased about it, and I just have to put that out there because I see these kinds of questions a lot, and I see people like Elias a lot too, where you bought the TV yourself, and you're noticing exactly what I'm saying, where it's maybe not as game-changing as you've heard, and it's unfortunate because these things are big. Some of you guys going up to 75, 85 inches, lugging it back to the store. It's not a good time. And I don't know, it's like for some of my newer viewers here, I mean, I've got nerve damage. I can't do that. I can't lug an 85-incher down the stairs and up the stairs. I would be dying, okay? I can't do stuff like that. So for people in my situation, I try to put that information out to just say, hey, listen, this is what it is, and accept it at base value. So yeah, I definitely appreciate you, Elias, for sharing that with us. And moving on to the next question here, coming from Paul. What's going on, man? You said, hey Q, you said, would the AAG work just as well with the new consoles next year being only HDMI 2.0? What am I missing out by not having HDMI 2.1 for next gen? Thanks. Okay, so the next generation consoles are basically going to feature ray tracing. That's the big elephant in the room and your biggest benefit there. Honestly, you can experience that on anything. As far as low latency and like the screen tearing technologies, you can expect in 2020 LG to double down as the best NVIDIA display. They're going to say that they're G-Sync compatible. They're going to have a big campaign behind their OLEDs about that because NVIDIA is backing them on that. And again, Samsung with their AMD FreeSync technology, and the two are going to battle. So if you have an AMD PC or AMD technology that can support it, then good for you. But one of the things that I really hate that they're not explaining is you're going to need to use like DisplayPort for some of these technologies, and it's just really inconveniencing, I would use as the word to describe it. You're not really missing out on a whole lot, to be honest with you. Because I can tell you right now, I'm gaming on my RTX 2060 Super PC right now. Well, not right now, but I have it running in a different display right now. And I tell you right now, guys, it's freaking fantastic on the A8G. I mean, like, gaming has never looked so perfect. I'll show a lot of that stuff off. I'll explain how PC is going to work with the A8G and other TVs and things like that as time goes on, but my point being is you're really not missing out on a whole lot. The big push with HDMI 2.1 is that it can support higher resolutions, namely 8K, and then you can also experience cleaner audio and wider color depth. But the problem is we haven't yet gotten to the point where we're getting 12-bit color, which is the biggest benefit of a true HDMI 2.1. And I still don't think in 2020 we're going to be seeing a 12-bit panel at all. So I think with that being said, you're still going to be on a 10-bit display. You're still going to have the same limitations we have right now. The only difference is they're going to try to sell this like frame tearing free technology with you. Now, a special note to that as well, Paul, is that when you look at this frame tearing technology that they're talking about, on my PC and pretty much on every PC that I've run into, there is something called, VSync. Now, some gamers turn VSync off, claiming that it hurts the experience and causes loads of latency. I have not experienced this once, literally once on my display. It just caps the frame rates to 60 FPS, and then you're able to game and do whatever you gotta do, right? And counteractively, when you use G-Sync, the whole idea behind G-Sync and FreeSync and why they're so popular with HDMI 2.1 is that you're able to get this now day and night better experience because you don't have to sacrifice adding more latency by turning on VSync, and then you also don't have to get any frame tearing. It's like supposedly the best of both worlds if your display can support it. So I mean, it is a benefit for some people who might want that, but honestly I've never seen this added latency that they talk about because I have an awesome PC and I don't really have that experience. So again, that's something to think about. I think a lot of this technology is just kind of like a lot of hype. So be weary of the new stuff for sure. So hopefully that helped you out. I know it was a long explanation, but this was a loaded question, even though it was kind of small. Again, there's no such thing as an easy answer when you're talking about new technologies that haven't been properly tested for years and years, but we're doing the best we can, right? All right. Now, with that being said, we're going to go on to the next question here, which is from Fresh. I'm just going to say Fresh because the numbers are just too much at this point. What's going on, Fresh? You said incredibly helpful. Thank you. I appreciate it. We've got Sat. What's going on? You said what is the best, or I'm sorry, what is the ideal room settings for the 900F, Q8FN, and H9F? Now, when you say room settings, you mean like just general picture settings? I don't really know. It depends on your, again, particular ambient lighting situation before you can kind of create a profile, if you will, for your room. But as far as general usage, I think kind of the general settings I have out on the channel, that's pretty much going to be the best bet that I would recommend for you guys. Would you recommend buying a warranty on a TV over $2,000? If it's anything other than an OLED, no. If it's an OLED, yeah, I could see that. Reason being is because obviously they're organic and they do degrade, and it's so random who gets a good panel and who doesn't these days. But on everything else, you really won't need it. Like, honestly, my dude, my KS8000, no, let's go even further back. My Sony W800B from 2014, still working. Let's go even further back than that. My Samsung FH6030, still working, still running. Never had a warranty on any of this stuff. Let's go even further back. What is it, my 2010 or 2011 or whatever it is, Razer Vizio, Razer E-Series or whatever it is, still working just fine. Typically, LED TVs do not need any kind of warranty. It is a massive scam on those TVs. Now, of course, you can run into issues where they make them cheap and they just unravel and they're complete and total garbage. But in the many years that I've been buying TVs, that is very uncommon. Like, seriously, the only problems that you'll have are manufacturer's defects and not so much as like they just degrade with usage. So to use a warranty, I don't see the use of it. And I'll, again, continue to cover the displays that I own for the lifetime of those displays, but so far, I mean, we got TVs like the 900E and the KS8000 still alive and kicking just well and fine. So warranty, I would not. What's going on? Flex, what's going on? You said, forgot to mention I tried your H9F settings on the H8F and they turned out pretty nice. Happy holidays. You said thanks and happy holidays, brother. I appreciate that feedback for all my VIP members and members alike. It really does help out when you guys give me feedback on those settings. If you guys have particular lighting situations, like just shout that stuff out on those videos and things like that and say, hey, I got a darker room and I need settings for that, or a lighter room, or whatever the case may be, and I'll try to work something out for you guys. So thanks again, Flex, and happy holidays to you as well, brother. And we've got Alejandro, what's going on? You said, Q, have you seen the anime Demon Slayer? Just binge watched it and it's good, bro. Good channel, keep up, or you said good channel, bro, keep up, keep bringing all the good stuff coming. Yeah, I'll definitely keep all the good stuff coming. Yes, I have seen Demon Slayer. Absolutely love it. I think it's a fantastic anime. Funny story, that's actually what I was mentioning in my, this OLED is not dim video kind of thing. That's what I got copyright claimed from Sony. So I was in this really long battle, for those that don't know, with Sony basically telling them, what the F? I'm not stealing or copying your Demon Slayer show. I'm reviewing it on a television. That's fair use. And of course, Sony disagreed and they manually said that it was fraudulent and I had to battle them. And of course I won, because if you want to get legal, I can win. So that's the thing there, but I really just don't like having to deal with that kind of stuff. But yes, Demon Slayer is an amazing show. If you wanted to show that off on your TV, though, to try to share that with other people, that's one of the many animes that Sony will try to gate really hard from other people showing that stuff off. So that's why I'm going to be making, just to spite Sony, a type of demo, if you will, that uses it but doesn't use it. It kind of creates a transformative piece, so we get around the nasty copyright nonsense that we deal with all the time on YouTube. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking at going forward. But yes, have seen it, love it, couldn't say enough positive things about Demon Slayer. Now, that being said, we've got Soldier 144. You said, hey QA, looking for a new 65-inch. What would you recommend between the Z9F or the H9F? Hands down, the H9F, just off of what I'm reading so far. You said, I have a budget for either, looking to the best picture motion processing. Yeah, I would still use the what is it? The H9F. It's still a better TV between the Z9F and that. Again, upscaling, the Sony will take, but the gray black, the lack of color control, it's just something I could not sign off on. We've got John Spade. You said, you're so ass at this game. Hey buddy, I'm using a computer. I'm not actually playing right now. I'm not ass at all, actually. I'm actually quite good. Too bad you're not on PC. I could challenge you. Man, it's gonna be fun to meet some of these shit talkers and actually wreck them online. Then they realize I'm a serious gamer. I forget that people don't know that I'm actually one of the top players for Injustice. I can control a game pretty well. I don't mean to brag, but at one point I was up there in the 1000th percentile of players, which doesn't sound like a lot, but at the time when I was there, it was pretty competitive. But even still, no, I'm not ass at this game. I'll probably show that off in another video, but for the time being, chill with all that noise, bro. What's going on, Elias? You said the thing I liked on the Samsung Q80R soundbar is it's awesome. You said the other thing I lent was fake 4K versus native 4K. I wish there was a list of native 4K. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they give us more native 4K support. Doesn't really look like there's too many things out there supporting it. What's going on, Justin? You said, does the H9F support Dolby Atmos without an AV receiver? No, it's not built into the TV. You will need something that can adequately pass through that signal. What's going on, F0? You said, hi, I'm going to buy a 55-inch for my new house, leaning towards the Q9FN based on your great comparisons, but now I hear problems with updates. Would you consider any alternatives? Honestly, if it was me, bro, I would not even mess with the Q9FN at this point, because it was already unimpressive when I got to it, and the reports that I've heard have been followed up on Facebook with pictures and things like that, so I know for a fact it's not the best, so I would avoid it. I would definitely avoid it. What's going on? Shadow is, I'll just say Shadow. You said, do you prefer the Sony A9G or the LG E9? Which is the better buy? I would go with the A9G. LG typically has a problem with their color reds, and that's not going away anytime soon. They seriously cannot get them right. I know there are a lot of people that will swear up and down that it is, but you need to really be a calibrator to know how to get that stuff taken care of. And out of the box, Sony's are not only more image quality, but they also are a load easier to tune up and get where you want it if you're not. Where LG, not necessarily, and I've always hated LG for that purpose. And to kind of answer what John was asking me, I think John was asking me. Let me see. No, F-Zero, you were saying, what are some good alternatives to the Q9FN? It's going to be wait till we see what happens at CES at this point. Because since we're literally days away from 2020, at this point, I think it'd be a waste to kind of say, hey, jump off the deep end for over, I don't know, X amount of dollars and just do this, because you're so close to the newer models that I would just say wait and see what they have to offer, man. We've got, shout out to Felix again, being a VIP member. You said in terms of future-proofing, should I pick up the H9F now or wait till next year for the new models? I mean, yeah, I probably would wait. I think it'll still be there. I don't think they're going to massively sell out any more than they already have. So I think you should be safe in that regard. And if you kind of get even like the slightest hinkering for a newer TV, the Hisense H9F will already be yours. You know, you would have already purchased it and wouldn't have the ability to shop around. So I say just hold off if you can, for sure. Sat, you said, what LED TV do you recommend for the best movie watching experience, and is there a way to fix a scratch on my X930E? Best LED TV that I've seen so far for movie watching, honestly, I've really liked what I saw with the Hisense H9F and the Q8FN. Those two have really just impressed me above all else. I mean, of course, the 900E is a champion in its own right. Not going to knock that TV at all, but I think that when we're talking about just your image quality, picture quality, things like that, that, you know, something can be said for just how good it looks. So I really want to see what the new wave of TVs are going to be like and what they're going to bring, but so far, that's what my recommendation would be. All right, so we've got, okay, now it's loading up. We have Pika. What's going on, man? Thanks for being a VIP member. You said, how you digging your PC gaming experience? How do you handle HDR gaming? Does it turn on by itself, or do you have to turn it on in Windows manually? All right, so for PC gaming, it's the best ever. Never going back. Can't go back. Just want to say that. And then for the HDR part, it turns on automatically, but PC has the worst HDR I've ever seen in my entire life. It's gray, it washes out everything. It is 10 billion times worse than anything on console. I thought I saw bad HDR until I saw PC's HDR. It's garbage. Now, fortunately, you can turn it off, but some games, like Jump Force, for example, no matter what you do, no matter how you toggle it off in game, will always turn back on, and it will piss you off. And then I was sitting there trying to figure out how to turn it off. All you gotta do is just adjust the settings and then toggle them back. It's really annoying, but I'll probably eventually show how to get out of that. But it was a big pain. Not happy about that, but overall, I don't like HDR at all on PC. I think it's terrible. I've seen it with now like 2 or 3 games. I'm not impressed at all. I genuinely hate HDR. It's not standardized, and it's just a clusterfuck at this point. I mean, let's be real about that. As far as does it turn on and off by itself, yes, it does turn on by itself. Hopefully that helped, bro. But yeah, PC, it's legit. Like, after this live stream, I'm not even joking, I'm gonna hop right on MSI Afterburner. I'm gonna start doing some benchmarking stuff and just gonna chill and have a bunch of fun on PC, because that's where I've been. This is actually the first time, by the way, in like a while that I've even turned on my PlayStation or console in general. I've been on PC like this whole time, so that's how good it is. Like, a lifelong console gamer saying that, man. Man, once you try it, you really shoot yourself in the foot by not doing it, you know? So hopefully that helped answer your question, brother. What's going on, Hugh? You said, is the fastest streaming device Roku? I honestly wouldn't know. I haven't given Roku the time of day and probably never will. So I'm not wanting to really honestly answer that, bro. Sensei Uri? What's up? You said, Can you buy me Naruto Storm 4 booty cheeks? Okay. Strange. What's going on? That's so weird. Why are people so weird? What's going on, Phil? You said, oh, thanks for being a member as well, Phil. You said, hi Q, recently joined your channel. Loving the content so far. Keep up the great work and happy holidays. I love when you guys just stop by to just, you know, show the love and support. I really do appreciate that, Phil. That was really kind of you. Thank you for that. And also, thank you for being a member of this channel. We've got, Nelly, what's going on? You said, the Sony Z9F is now marked down by $1,700 right now. Is it worth consideration? No. I wouldn't pay a penny over free for it, and even that's too much, because gray black on a high-end TV is just not my forte. And the motion is less than acceptable, so I can't sign off on that TV. I do not like it at all. Enoch, what's going on? You said, I wish you did the same when they product tampered your 930 on your episode. Yes. Now, when you said you wish I did the same, what do you mean you wish I did the same? For which TV? What's going on? Mickey, thanks for being a VIP member. You said, hi, Quantum, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Mickey. I appreciate it. Pika, you said, I have a PC, bro, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. You said, gotta add me on Steam. Do you at all use mouse and keyboard? I do not. I am strictly a controller user. I absolutely hate mouse and keyboard. I don't know how people use it. I mean, there are some people that swear by it. I am not one of those people. I absolutely hate it. With that, we're pretty much wrapping up the live stream here. I mean, you guys can ask some final questions, but to kind of satisfy the one person that said I absolutely suck at this game, just to be that guy, I'm going to end up showing what I can do in this game just to have fun. I mean, you could do infinite combos if you want. I'll just do a single match. Just jump into it. All right. What do we say? Let's look at the battle settings. Yeah, battle settings never leave super hard, just for those that are wondering. And I'll be Sasuke here. Gotta love the main man. And we'll fight. Honestly, I don't even care who I fight at this point. I just don't want somebody stupid. So let's fight Orochimaru because he's annoying and he runs around too much. Alright, so we'll fight here. And we'll just show you that, yeah, not after the game. I take those kinds of comments kind of personal, not gonna lie. I train long and hard to be good at my craft here. Alright, let's go. Get out of here with that trash. Man, I can't wait to take this game on PC too and see like how I do against PC gamers. Come on, bro. Yeah, man, it would be crazy. I remember when I was fighting this one kid on PlayStation, like when this game first came out. This kid was like a master of the game, played the game like his family's entire livelihood was based upon him winning that match. Oh my god, I was not beating that kid. So much so that I actually friended that kid. Because I just had to know. I had to know how he was so good at the game. And he finally broke down and told me how to do it. How he was doing, what he was doing. Thought it was pretty dope. I like when people have good sportsmanship. It was like one of the rarest occasions too, where I've run into somebody with really good sportsmanship online. Does not happen too often in my experience. There we go. Are you live streaming on Fridays? Forgot what day the live streams are on. Yeah, live streams are Fridays, 7 through 8 p.m. typically. There's really not any other day I have time to really jump in and do that. I've been trying to add more days, but I feel like for what it's worth, I wouldn't be able to do too much. Anything useful anyway. And most of the stuff, like weekly roundups in the tech world, kind of happen on Friday anyway, so I just kind of figure might as well just kind of give you guys that information as it happens. Ah, he's jumping. There we go. Huh. Canceled out. Come on, buddy. Ah, I'm out of my thing. It's all gravy. Won't be able to kill me once. Let's go. I mean, what kind of games do you guys play on your various PCs and things like that anyway? Probably should toss the talisman out. Get out of here with that trash. Susano. Huh. I love this cheap ass freaking thing. Oh, let's go. Eat that Chidori. It's over. Just lay down. Just lay down. It's done. It's done. Alright. So there we go. In a nutshell. Now, for those who are wondering, I did that whole match, and I'm not in game mode. I'm in... What is this? I'm in Cinema Home. So imagine how much more competitive I would be if I'm actually taking it 100,000% serious. It gets pretty violent and pretty... pretty competitive. So no, I don't actually suck at the game. So now that we've silenced that critic, now we can move on to the final questions of the night. I won't put anything else on the screen since we are wrapping up here. But... hope you all did have a good Christmas and things of that nature. We have one more thing, please. A9G 55-inch or A8G. It's the A8G all day, man. The A9G is less colorful, more expensive, and honestly has less features. I wouldn't do it. We have is the Xbox One X HDMI cable sufficient between consoles and the Q8FN, or should I upgrade to a 48 gigabyte S HDMI cable? I mean, I would buy a different HDMI cable if you feel like you're having slowdowns and things like that. I know I had to do it for my Z9F soundbar, but typically I use nothing over $40 when it comes to HDMI cables, so I don't really get hung up over the gigabytes per second and things like that. Truly, I haven't had any problems with just generic HDMI cables I could yank off of Amazon. Right down to even buying Amazon basic cables, and honestly, that's how I've been using my PC. I've got like this really long 16-footer Amazon basic cable. There's really nothing special about it, and I'm still getting all the best resolutions and no slowdowns whatsoever. So seriously, it doesn't matter, man. It's been a delight speaking with you. You said you're great, and I hope your channel grows higher and higher. I appreciate that, Elias. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good night as well. Mickey said 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific time, so 2 p.m. my time on Fridays is around when your stream is. I mean, I'm 7 p.m. through 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I don't really know time conversions and all that stuff, to be honest with you, but I hope it's not too terrible. John, what's going on? You said, what's up, guys? Just grabbed up the H9F. Yay. Congratulations on your new TV. Nelly, you said, or Neil, sorry, you said H9F or A8G. I would go with the A8G, as I actually made that choice personally. We said, hold on, we had John. You said good. Yeah, that's good. That's a good buy. The H9F is definitely a good buy, man. We've got Ray. You said, what are your specs on your new PC? New specs, RTX 2060 Super, what is it? i7 9700F, 16 gigabytes RAM, 480 solid state, 1 terabyte HHD, ASRock motherboard. I don't know the exact make or whatever it is. I don't know, and some other specs. I mean, I don't know everything off the top of my head, to be honest with you. I don't really spec dump too much. I just know it's powerful. I know I'm eventually going to upgrade the graphics card from a 2060 Super to either a 2070 Super or a 2080 Ti whenever I get around to doing that. But that's pretty much where we're at right now. The only thing I have to figure out is if my particular PC chassis can handle the extra PCIe SATA connections or whatever it is. Something to figure out there. But yeah, I'm enjoying PC and all that stuff. And you said, thanks, appreciate your time, Otis. Much respect. I appreciate all that as well. Thank you. What's going on, Ashan? Thanks for being a member. You said, hi, Quantum, great content. Will there be Netflix specific settings like the calibrated mode for A9G? No, the A8G and the X950G. Well, no, the X950G does have it, but the A8G rather doesn't have any Netflix calibrated modes. They don't have anything like that. So, Mickey, what's going on? You said I just looked it up, and the difference is that I'm 3 hours behind you, so I'll be free to watch that time. I appreciate it. And I thank you all for stopping by tonight and just kind of having fun. I hope you guys have a safe and happy New Year if I don't touch base with some of you guys before then. I mean, we're getting ready to go into 2020, so just kind of like a little general consensus as to what we're doing before we end. We'll be starting season 2 on January 1st of Quantum TV, which is again just a different style of video, just moving things forward and stuff of that nature. And things are going to be a lot more, dare I say, competitive, if I will. As far as YouTube is concerned, allocating more resources and more time towards building up the channel and things, you know, the boring stuff, yada yada. You guys just want the good content at the end, right? And that's what it's all about. I'm trying to think of everything in general before I let you guys go here. I mean, we're going to be talking CES, obviously. We're going to be talking about the new sound technologies coming out of LG, since they're adding AI room calibrations to optimize your sound in their sound bars this year. G-Sync on their new displays as that happens. FreeSync if Samsung continues to push that, or if they have a new, I guess, prototype for their quantum dot technology to show off, where they're taking it to the next level, or whatever ends up happening. You guys know we're going to be talking about it. We're going to just continue to do what we do, so I appreciate all you guys, man. You guys are all fantastic. Pika says, I'm using a 50-foot HDMI cable to my PC from my TV. There you go. All day, every day. And we have, welcome to the PC group, man. You said, I know you will be pleased. Yeah, so far I'm already over the moon, so I'm not going back to console. It's just not happening. It's unrealistic. I mean, you're talking, I paid thousands, literally thousands of dollars in my gaming library on console, and it's locked into that generation, and now they want more money. Where PC, all the games I bought will go to any PC from now until the end of Steam. I mean, I'm just saying, it's a no-brainer for me. We've got Donald, what's going on? You said, what is your favorite TV of all time? I mean, honestly, I don't pick and choose, to be very honest with you. I just buy multiple TVs and sit them around the house. So I don't really have much of a favorite, if I'm being really straightforward with you. Black Mage, you said, I've been subscribed for like 2 months and checking a lot of videos, just saying hi here, awesome content, and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. And thanks for, again, just being new to the channel, checking everything out. You know, if you need anything, I'm here on these live streams. And you'll get PS5 though. I'll definitely probably end up getting PS5 for the exclusives, and, you know, because content, you know, people are going to want to see it. The one console I've refused to get is the Xbox. It's a waste of money. But I'll review the PS5 for everybody, and against my proper adequate PC, I think it'll be very interesting to see how an RTX 2060 Super goes up against the brand new PS5. That kind of stuff you can't beat. I'm very curious myself, so we'll definitely be doing stuff like that. But that's future content. For right now, this is where we're at. And you said, me too, exactly, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Which ambient LED light bar system do you use behind the TV? The lighting system that I use, I don't typically give out on YouTube because I don't want some copycat to troll through my video. As you guys saw earlier in the live stream, did have a nasty little troll there, so you guys know they're watching. So I don't put that stuff out there because I don't want copycat YouTubers getting a leg up on me. But what I will do is, if you need that information, you can contact me privately through like a members only video or post or something like that, and then I can give you that information. But or just let me know when you want a Facebook message or whatever, and I can give that information to you, no problem, man. But just typically I do not give that information out just generally out in the public, because I mean, you guys know it's YouTube, it's competitive, and people are slimy. That being said, I want to thank you all so much for stopping by and watching the channel and being a part of the community. Final question of the night, or statement of the night. Mickey says, PS4 games will work on PS5, and PS4 discs will be usable and playable on PS5, which I sincerely would hope so. It's not that big of a leap. If only now we can get PS3, PS2, and PS1 supported, now we've got ourselves a console. And that being said, thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. You guys have yourself a blessed and beautiful night, and if you guys need me for anything, reach out on Facebook or in the comments, and I'll help you as much as I can. Until the next video, see you guys later.